Women have played a pivotal role in the Methodist Church for more than 150 years, and specifically with Trinity since our founding in 1923. From preparing and serving food on the day the building's foundation was laid, to supporting mission work and leading fellowship groups, the purpose of United Women in Faith has remained steady: to connect and nurture women through spiritual leadership and fellowship so that they can impact both local and global communities together. Sue Poltera, a Trinity United Women in Faith historian and member for the last 10 years, is joining us to discuss more about this part of our church history. We've learned that our original church structure was built in only 4 days. Can you tell me how women contributed during that time?
Yes. Our first women's group started in 1923 when the church started. They served the meals to the men during those 4 days in a tent.
And so during that time in 1923, it likely would have been really hot, no electricity, no gas. Do you have an idea of how they accomplished serving and preparing all this food for those 4 days?
We do not know how they did it. There's no written record, but we assume that they lived close to the church and they cooked it at home and then brought it in and served it in the tent.
Supporting mission work is a huge part of United Women in Faith. How have Trinity women supported mission work in the past?
In 1924, they formed the Home Missionary Society, which was a group of women who supported the missionary in India. That society hired a young lady who went to India as a missionary, and they supported her for 30 years until she died in 1954.
And so the woman that went to India, what was her name?
Her name was Garnett Everly. She was a charter member. She was a teacher in the Hutchinson schools.
She would have been in her mid-20s?
She was 35 when she went.
Wow. Okay. And in more recent years, what type of mission work has Trinity United Women in Faith supported?
Through the years, they've had bazaars, garage sales, antique and art fairs. They have the salad suppers, which we still have. They also had the bake sales at Christmas, and they also sold Christmas trees one year to the congregation to sell. 30s and the 40s, they had home products dinners. So they've done a lot in trying to raise money for the missions.
And what exactly is a home product meal?
It is a dinner. They set the menu, and then they ask businesses to either donate money or food to those dinners, and then they would cook them in the kitchen and serve it as a dinner.
And what does United Women in Faith look like today?
We still support global and national missions for women, children, and youth. We support local missions as well, and we still cook a lot. We still have bazaars. We have the bake sale at Christmas for people to buy goodies for Christmas. We have the Mardi Gras soup dinners, and so we do our best to support all the missions every year.
And in February, do you all still make Valentines?
This is a fun craft. We make Valentines for the Meals on Wheels.
And what other types of nonprofits do you support in the community?
We support local missions such as the Soup Kitchen, First Call for Help, Bright House. We volunteer at the Fair Price store. We also have a group of ladies who do the laundry for the church. In 1929, we have the Great Depression, and then World War II takes us through the mid-1940s, and we know women during that time really rallied around the war efforts. How did Trinity women help during those challenging times? They joined the USO and the American Red Cross. There were offices here in Hutchinson during that time. They made blankets and clothing for men who were overseas. They did not have a lot of activities during the war years because a lot of people didn't have money.
And when did you first become a member of United Women in Faith?
I joined in 2013 after I retired. I was wanting to get involved more in the church, and so I joined the evening group that we have, which is the Ruth group, and it was the same time as our Tower Bells rehearsal, so then I switched over to the Martha group in the morning.
And so you are coming up on a decade?
I am.
Okay, and what's your favorite thing about being a member?
I love the fellowship of other women, and that's one reason I joined the United Methodist Women, is for the fellowship and the friendships that I would have. I also like being a part of helping with missions as well.
Personal growth, spiritual leadership, and giving back, both locally and globally, are at the core of United Women in Faith. Trinity has been blessed for a century by the hard work and compassion of incredible women, and our church will continue to be impacted by this faith-driven organization for many years to come.